Hey Viking fans, you have spoken. What am I talking about? That up next in 3, 2, 1. Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Now make sure you hit subscribe, like, and leave a comment, and that'll keep my channel going. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now make sure you comment below and tell me what you think about what I'm going to talk about next. The first thing I'd like to talk about is the people have spoken. I put out a tweet. I put out this from my Twitter account. You can follow me at Skullworld. Who would you rather have at QB for the Vikings right now for one season, 2022? 151 votes. 88% of you said Kirk Cousins. 12% of you said Kyler Murray. That's who we're facing this week, folks. And I was thinking about, hey, let's talk about the tail of the tape. Let's talk about stats. Let's talk about all that. Well, Kirk Cousins is edging him out. It's not much, but it's edging him out. 9 touchdowns to 7 throwing. Kyler's had more turnovers overall. He's been without DeAndre Hopkins. You know, all of that. But if you remember, let's go back to the Wayback Machine in the offseason, and Kyler Murray was asked about his, he was having to sign a contract, but it had a stipulation that he had to study. And let's look back at an article written. Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals recently made headlines over a controversial clause initially stipulated within $230.5 million contract. Murray was designated to spend at least 4 hours per week studying game film, which many saw as a knock on the quarterback and his love for video games. The man loves football, but he also has a love affair with Call of Duty. The Cardinals have since reneged on the highly scrutinized clause after both the franchise and Kyler Murray himself took some heat over what the condition ultimately meant. Safe to say this story won't ever completely die, probably until either of the two things: Murray leads the Cardinals to a Super Bowl or he hangs up his controller for good. One fan on Reddit that goes by the username u/-B took some time to break down Kyler Murray's performances on the football field, juxtaposed with weekends where Call of Duty was offering special incentives to play. In online games like Call of Duty, players often compete to earn in-game credits in order to purchase skins or aesthetics upgrades for their characters, and on some weekends the game offered double the credits for sessions or 2 XP, double experience points. The user measured the QBs played during weekends with such COD or COD promos and ones without, and it's not exactly the results the Cardinals fans were hoping for. Passer rating. Murray's average passer rating on non-2XP weekends is 97.43 and 89.65 on 2XP weekends, showing a negative 7.7 difference in 2XP weekends. So when he has double experience points weekends, he will have a 7-point lower quarterback rating. Passing yards. Kyler Murray's average yards per game is 251 on 2XP weekends and 245 on 2XP weekends. Oh, on non and then on 2XP weekends, showing a 6 yards per game difference in 2XP weekends. So not a big deal. Completion percentage. Murray averages completions on 2XP weekends is 67.29 and 67.17 on 2XP weekends, showing a .12 difference on 2XP weekends. It's not a big deal. Win-loss record. Kyler Murray's record on non-2XP weekends is 18, 16, and 1, a 529 win percentage. So he has a winning percentage on weekends where there is no 2XP. All right, and on 2XP weekends, he is 4 for 7, a 36% winning percentage, showing a 0.169 win percentage difference in 2XP weekends. The sample size isn't too large, with the results not being extremely stark either way, but it's pretty interesting, to say the least, that Kyler Murray indeed underperformed during weekends where he would have had the opportunity to earn double in-game credits in Call of Duty. The results probably could be more indicative if they could cross-reference whether or not Kyler Murray actually played during those weekends. If that's visible on the streaming platform Twitch or through any other means to check and see if the data lines up. It continues. But it's not only measures that's portrayed Kyler Murray as potentially being affected by Call of Duty on the field. In a recent piece from Matt Bonesteel of the Washington Post, the Cardinals QB has underperformed significantly past a certain threshold every season once the annual Call of Duty releases come out. This is important. I'm gonna get to it, but here's what's going on. In games played before the annual Call of Duty release date, over his career, Murray has averaged 22.5 fantasy points. Going with fantasy points on this, apparently. In games played after the annual Call of Duty release date, Murray has averaged 17.4 fantasy points, a decline of 22.7%. The Cardinals were the hottest team in the NFL to start last season, winning 7 straight games to start off the year. The first loss came on October 28th. It is October 28th right now, against the Green Bay Packers, who finished tied for the best record in the NFL, with Arizona also facing them on just 4 days rest. After that loss, they finished the season going 4 for 5, while also losing 4 of their last 5 games. What also came after the Packers loss was the release of Call of Duty Vanguard, which came out on November 5th in 2021. In all fairness to Kyler, they also lost DeAndre Hopkins for most of the second half last season. However, it's been the same story throughout his career with the Cardinals. In 2020, the Cardinals started off the season going 5-3. Those first 8 contests came from a 2020 release of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which are available on November 13th, 2020. After that date, Arizona went 3-5 and lost 5 of their last 7 games to close out the season. Even during Kyler Murray's rookie season, the trend held true. Through Arizona's first 7 games in 2019, they started off 3-1. They were riding a 3-game win streak right before October 25th release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reboot, which came next, was a 6-game losing streak, with the Cardinals finishing the last 9 games of the season with a miserable 2-7 record. Obviously, it's impossible and downright silly to directly pin the Cardinals' second half struggles on Kyler Murray and his love for Call of Duty, but it's hard to deny that the data thus far through his first 3 seasons lines up perfectly with the results of the mostly humorous investigations. So, folks, Kyler Murray, before Call of Duty, playing pretty good. The team doing good. Better record. After Call of Duty, nosedive. And, folks, I got a little tidbit news for you. Article came out, updated May 24th, 2022. This year, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 release date set for October 2022. What do you need to know? Again, October 2022. What you need to know. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is the next mainline game in the Call of Duty franchise. Development is being led by Infinity Ward, the team behind the Modern Warfare sub-franchise, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, is slated to launch today, October 28th, 2022. Folks, it's just fate. It's fate. He's going to play the Vikings the weekend after Call of Duty comes out. The Call of Duty release date today. He's going to play the Vikings this weekend. The official Call of Duty Twitter account shared the reveal of the release date on Tuesday. The announcement video also revealed some of the official artwork for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. A prominently spray-painted June 8th, 2022 seems to indicate that more will be seen in just a couple weeks. But Call of Duty games traditionally launch in the fall. The next game being led by Infinity Ward is no exception. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 now has a release date of October 20th, 2022. So there you go, folks. Call of Duty 2022, October 28th. Let's go. Skull Vikings. I hope you enjoyed this story. Skull Vikings. See you next time. Cue the music. Thank you, Viking fans, for listening. Make sure you catch my other episodes. Also, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Skull Vikes.